Hey YouTube, this is Eddie the Israelite. Now, this is going to be my first video. I got others, but uh, I'll start with telling my story, okay? And why I'm called, or so called myself, Eddie the Israelite. Uh, this is going to be to help as many people as I can to give back, and because you know I uh, I was the greatest screw up that ever lived, literally. And the biggest drug addict and the biggest alcoholic that ever lived, biggest womanizer, the biggest everything. There was no greater other than a mass murderer in prison. But anyway, which I'm pretty was pretty equivalent to it at the, way back in the day. So hopefully this video is going to help struggling addicts, struggling men, uh, maybe struggling couples, because I want to give back. And also because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing people hurting, in pain, and it's time. It's the consummation of times. You can obviously see that this is it's a different, confusing kind of day right now. The time that we're living in is extremely confusing, extremely hardcore, and it's like our whole world's turned upside down. So I'll just start from about the middle. In 2018, I got in I was a drug addict, pretty hardcore. Um, you know, Smoking meth pipes in dumpsters, uh, looking for things in the dumpster that uh, were there, that I thought were there, that really weren't there, but sometimes they were. uh, I've destroyed my life because of it. Anyway, I was in Reno, Nevada living, and I was doing meth constantly, drinking, whatever I can get my hands on. And I was lost, confused, angry about my life. Subconsciously didn't know that, but consciously did, but didn't want to admit it. I was in self-denial like there was no other. I was the most self-denying person that's ever lived on this planet. I can probably say that that's my title, or was. And so I have a wife of 35 years. I got 4 kids, 2 grown boys, 2 grown girls. Um, in 2018, I won't go all the way back there, but I'll tell you about the end of it, and then I'll go back to the beginning on the next video. So I was riding a bike, and I was tweaking so hard that I had it. I had a card on it, and I had a car battery in it with the car stereo in it that I stole. And the bike was so heavy, I was so skinny, I was like 123 pounds. I couldn't even pedal the bike, let alone hold it up. And once I got going, the momentum kept it going. I've lost everything. I mean, literally, 100 times over. I didn't know what to do. I was blinded. I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. As Stevie Wonder said, he said, I could see the sun in late December. What he meant by that was, in that song, if you look it up, what he meant by that is that you could be blinded, but yet you could still see. I mean, so consumed with self-hatred and past pain and traumas from your past childhood and your past life that you keep compounding it, trying to get out of it. You keep compounding it by walking into more pain and trauma, trying to get away from the past pain and trauma. It happens all the time, and I see it every day, all day long. Okay, and a lot of people die in that, and they think that there's a better world after you're dead than there is while you're here. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. Because if you don't have redemption here, then you're definitely not going to find it there. Okay, so you ask, Eddie, how do you know this? Okay, just trust me, all right? I'm not a prophet or a palm reader or a psychic or any of that stuff. I'm not that. But I could just tell you for sure that I know. Don't wait until you die to find out that that was right or close to it. So, anyway, I was walking with demons. There was one in me or more, and there was 10,000 around me, 24 hours a day. And I thought I was doing the drugs and alcohol to get away from the pain and trauma that I had in the past, and it was a part of the same from the truth, because it was causing more pain and trauma each time I indulged in drugs or alcohol. Okay. Now this is not an AA video or none of that stuff, although I am an advocate of AA and the 12 steps because they do work. All right. But once you take that initiation of the 12 steps and you start to change your life and you start to deal and put on the table the cards of your pain and trauma, then the 12 steps are the first thing, okay, and the first step to take for to learn how to deal with your problems. First, you got to lay your problems on the table. Then you have to learn how to deal with the problems that you've laid on the table. Okay, and realizing that there is no actual answers for it, but there is. It's hard to explain, but when you get there, you'll understand. So anyway, going back, it was a very demonic, evil time within myself, in my mind, in the imagination of my mind. Is a very evil place to be, in my head. Okay? Outside the world was still running normal, but in my head, it was running abnormal, but normal. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain. I was confused. I didn't know what I was doing, or really who I was. I just was who I thought I was in the imagination of my mind. So, anyway, to give you a premise of what was going on in my head, I was walking through life every day, getting high all the time, every single day, going to casinos, gambling nonstop. Didn't even know why I was doing that. Not even realizing that there was as the natives would say, there's a great, the grandfather's up there. Okay, there's a great force in this earth. I don't know if you know anything about the earth's hertz and the pulse of the earth and the pulse of us and how we're one with it. And I don't mean that in an esoteric way. I mean that in an obvious, it's just kind of obvious. 5-year-old knows this, all right? And if you ask any 5-year-old little child, they'll tell you that. So I mean, so anyway, not to digress, we'll get back to that. So I was going to casino to casino. I had friends, meth and friends of mine, girls, guys, couples, whatever. And we were a couple, and we'd go through, and we were taking ourselves through every Sodom and Gomorrah wicked thing that we could do. Because see, when you're on a drug or an alcohol, what happens is that you do things that are against your beliefs. You do things that are against nature, that that your body is telling you, that the forces and the vibes and everything is telling you that you shouldn't be doing it, but you go against it anyway because of the imagination of your mind, because of the methamphetamine or the drugs or the cocaine or the pills or whatever it is that you're taking that's not letting you be in your right, sober mind, okay? sober being spiritually sober, not just physically sober off of chemicals. So, anyway, 2018, I committed a crime in a casino. I stabbed somebody. And, I mean, really bad. And a totally innocent person for nothing, okay? Because they got my emotions riled up. And everything came to a head. And I went to my bike and I got a box cutter, and I did that because my pride was hurt, which is the most evilest thing on the planet, is to have pride. Any kind of pride is wicked, okay? It's how Satan fell, all right? Now, for those of you who don't believe in God or any of that stuff, okay, well, common sense tells you that pride is asinine. Excuse my French. So anyway, I put my face on the camera. The Reno Police Department came to my house 3 days later. I was a motel I was living in with my mother that was old. And I was, using my mother to take care of my non-working self. Okay, I don't want to say the bad words. Anyway, bad things were happening to me. I lost my bike. People stole all my stuff. All kinds of stuff got stolen. And I was wondering why. Maybe it was possibly karma that I was doing to other people was being done to me, because that's how nature works, okay? Anyway, so the cops came to my house. I got arrested. I got charged with assault with a deadly weapon, and I ended up doing a 2 to 5 in the Nevada State Penitentiary. So I did 28 months in, and I got out, and I had a chance. I didn't have a chance to go back to Reno, where I came from. But I had one opportunity, one chance to go to one doorway to go to Las Vegas, to go to a halfway house called Samaritan House. So when I went to prison, all right, within that 28 months, I did 22 months in a program called the Phoenix Program in Warm Springs Correctional Center. And the Phoenix Program helped change my life tremendously. It was profound, okay? Because I was never the same after that. But anyway, I went to this program, and they taught me cognitive behavioral therapy. So we sat down, and it was basically I'm looking in a mirror, and then I'm dealing with what I see in the mirror. You know what I mean? Basically, that's a nutshell of the whole program. It was real extensive. Anyway, I got out. I got paroled November 26th, 2019. It was like 22 months or something. And I went to Samaritan House, and then I went to AAS after, and something clicked in my head. I said, I want to get a sponsor. And I already started the first 3 steps inside Warm Springs. So I just got out, and I started the 3 steps over again, got through the 12, got a sponsor. Anyway, so I never went back, okay? I never turned back again. I can't tell you everything that's in my head, but as a series of videos, you'll find out, because this is part 1 of hopefully it'll be a part 100, because I got a long story to tell you. I've had a really interesting life. I could write a book, so I'm going to write an AI book, let's put it this way. So anyway, I hope that somebody gets this video. That's part 1. I'm putting a stereo system in my car because that's what I do when I'm bored. I don't sit there and waste my time with dead hands doing nothing, because then that'll lead me to go right back to where I was, but this time worse. Because what happens is you get clean for a while, and then you end up going back because of boredom, all right? Because you're not still dealing with your problems. You have to do it every day. It's every day, all the time, lifetime struggle, okay? Even Tao teaches that. Even the Chinese teach you that. I don't believe in their religions, but I'm just saying that it's just common sense. That you have to deal with your problems when you lay them on the table. Because if you don't, they'll surface back up. You have to deal with your problems, and you have to resolve your problems by dealing with them. When you have the pain, when you're sober, you just go through it. You cry, whatever needs to be done, you go through the pain, but you don't get emotional and make a decision in an emotional state, because that is dangerous. Anyway, wait till the end of a matter, okay? Wait till the end of a matter, then you make a decision, all right? Just like the scamdemic that we're living in. You wait till the end of the matter, and of course, just like now, okay, it's gone away. Or it's going away, or so it seems. Anyway, and they switch to another narrative. But anyway, that's a whole conspiracy theory, as you guys would put it, not as I, but that's a whole theory by itself. That's a whole program by itself. We'll get to that later. But anyway, this is just for the drug addicts and alcoholics and all that. I'm primarily focusing on my fellow my ex-fellow tweakers, okay? Because I understand where you're coming from. You know, I was there, you know, and I'm still working on it 5 years later. Every day. Anyway, I want to help my peoples out there, man. They're hurting, especially now. That's a horrid drug. To me, that's the worst drug on the planet, because it opens the door to demonic spirits and another world that the natives stay away from. All right, anyway, we'll get deeper and deeper into certain paperwork that I have. I'll show you proof of everything I tell you later on, okay? So anyway, tally ho, my friends. Have a good life. Hopefully you'll come back. You'll hit subscribe. All right, and because I got a lot of knowledge. I can help you. I can help you not want the drug anymore. Okay. And we'll get to other people too, not just drug addicts. I'm talking about single abused women. I'm talking about molested people. I'm talking about angry people. I'm talking about color, race, nationality, spiritual, non-spiritual, anything. I'm going to get to it all. This is video 1. All right? Stick around. Watch for video 2. And we'll get down to it. And just stick with me, you know. I'm not a real smart dude, you know what I mean? But I'm just telling my testimony. That's all I'm going to do, is tell my testimony and the knowledge that I've gained from what I've learned, okay? And please, nobody make any decisions on anything I say. It's just do the research on your own of everything I tell you, all right? Do the research on your own, all right? And then you make a decision from there. Don't just take my word for it. Anyway, other than that, my testimony is mine, so you can't research that. You might be able to, but anyway, have a good time with your life, you guys, and stay vigilant, because this is not a joking time. Okay, this ain't a joking time. All right, we'll get more into that later too, but we don't have much time left. Anyway, Zeddy the Israelite, over and out. Peace.